I'm Claudio Radelli. My role in this project, MORES, is to look at narratives of public policy and the emotions that move these narratives. Narratives are very important in public policy because they have a very special structure. They have a setting, a hero, a victim, a villain, sometimes even a doomsday scenario. So what they do by having this structure, they transport the audience, those who are listening, into a given story. And when you're transported in a story, you are more likely to believe the conclusion than otherwise. I don't think we can say that we want to live in a world without narratives, because if you think about it, you even dream in stories, right? So stories are going to be there. It's important to understand scientifically how they work in moving beliefs about public policy. We theorize that emotions do things, so to speak, to some elements of the narrative. So you probably feel contempt for a villain, for a corrupt politician. You feel pride for the hero. You feel sympathy for the victim. So essentially we are looking in a granular way at how narratives are emotionalized. We look at narratives of migration, we look at narratives of the Green Deal, especially narrative about the transition to sustainable food, looking at how counter-narratives also have emerged in the European debate in countries like Italy and Hungary. And how this discussion, yes, it's about the costs of the transition or the cost of handling migrants, but it's also about emotions. We also use experimental surveys to see whether the presence of a narrative can bring an individual to a slightly different conclusion, granted that we all have beliefs, but the way we can go one way or the other may change as a result of the narrative. So there is this big question of what do people do with the results of a project like ours on the policy narratives? What can, for example, a policymaker do? I always say that the first element is awareness. You're more aware of the narrative elements of a political discourse. So awareness means also that you can change your narrative, you can counteract a narrative to which you are opposed. I'm not saying that we should always fight fire with fire. So sometimes we fight overblown narratives with evidence, but even facts can be presented in a more or less narrative fashion. Now, for the world of citizens or advocacy organizations, that's another important element. Narrative motivate activists. They fuel, they bring people to change their behavior, to engage more in deeper ways. And therefore, narratives are also important for those who as citizens are involved in public policy. We will also have some conversations with policy leaders, and we're going to explore the narratives and the emotions attached to narratives with them step by step, taking some very, very topical issues like take climate change. Right? Is it more a project fear or a project hope? And how can the policy leader fellows reflect on their own emotions? So awareness, perception, seeing the emotion, control it if necessary, and use it for political advocacy.